Right now at 5, a man leaves his job to make a phone call and finds a man dead in Virginia Beach. We're live on the scene with breaking details.
A home suddenly explodes. The elderly woman inside somehow escapes and then walks a quarter of a mile for help. Her son may still be trapped inside.
And police bust a man they say was doing drugs in this house. Their tip came from his brother's MySpace page. Could your internet profile get you arrested? That's our hot topic tonight as we go live inside our new interactive newsroom.
Right now, you're watching your News Channel 3 with Barbara Sierra and Pat McReynolds. And from the Triple Doppler Forecast Center, weather with Chief Meteorologist Mike Harvey. This is your News Channel 3 at 5.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. An elderly woman had to walk a quarter of a mile for help in the cold after her house exploded in the middle of the night.
Yeah, the blast happened on Route 158 near the 168 intersection in Currituck County. It leveled the house. As your News Channel 3's Dominique Ben reports, while the 90-year-old woman survived, her son is still missing.
A two-story wooden house reduced to its foundation. Family members of the people who live here can't comprehend the scene.
Nothing left. Cars gone, house is gone.
The call came in to the sheriff's office about 3 o'clock Monday morning after a neighbor heard multiple explosions.
My officer arrived on scene about 2.5 minutes later, and the house was completely engulfed in flames when he got there.
The 90-year-old homeowner made it out and walked a quarter of a mile down this road. However, family members believe her son, who relies on oxygen and a cane, couldn't make it out.
Likely he was in there because he don't go nowhere. You know, he stays there with his mom, so I hope not, but it don't look good at this point.
Investigators are on the scene trying to find out exactly what caused the explosion. However, they did tell us they think a fire sparked the explosion of the man's oxygen tank, causing a chain reaction of explosions.
And we know that he was on oxygen, so there's a good possibility that one of the explosions could have come from the oxygen tank. My opinion is that we are going to be able to locate him there.
In Currituck County, Dominique Ben, your News Channel 3.
Tonight, 90-year-old Gertrude Russell is in intensive care. Her son, Edwin Holden, is the one missing. Now, while firefighters believe his oxygen tank contributed to the blast, oxygen itself is not explosive. However, firefighters say it must be kept several feet away from cigarettes or any other heat or flame. Home oxygen can make small fires suddenly flare out of control.
A man is dead, and tonight Virginia Beach police are trying to figure out how he died and who killed him. Forensic investigators and homicide detectives spent all day at the crime scene on Potters Road. And your News Channel 3's Giovanna Burchard is there live with the Virginia Beach Mobile Newsroom. Giovanna?
Well, Bianca, an employee from this screening business here behind me found the body on the side of the building back in the woods. You can see it's a fairly deserted area, a lot of woods, and today investigators spent hours out here trying to figure out exactly what happened. With more questions than answers, detectives scoured the woods behind Tidewater emblems looking for anything that could help them solve a mysterious death.
All of us arrived and didn't notice the person.
Inside the screen printers, Mark Hunenberg told us his day started off pretty normal.
We just opened up as normal any Monday morning, and about 9:45 an employee walked outside just to make a cell phone call and notified me that he noticed a body out in the back corner of the building.
Police won't say whether the guy found clothes and wearing a jacket died here or if somebody dumped his body in the woods. The same woods near where work crews cut brush back earlier in the morning.
Seen the guy's shirt, because I saw the police walk up and just bend down and check his pulse. I guess he was dead.
Investigators won't say how long the body may have been out in the cold. The screen printing shop is closed on the weekends, and Mark Hunenberg says no one saw anything until this morning. Now they're just wondering what happened.
We're fine. I think a couple of people are a little spooked just because it is a pretty secluded area.
And police have not released the name of the man found out here right now. They still are working on trying to identify him. If you can help, you're asked to call the crime line. Now, new at 6, how the few people that live out here say their lives are changing since this death. That's all new at 6. We're live with the Virginia Beach Mobile Newsroom. Giovanna Burchard, your News Channel 3.
All right, Giovanna, thank you very much. We have breaking news from Norfolk right now. Police just released a picture of a man wanted for assaulting a child. And your News Channel 3's Rick Holmes is live in our interactive newsroom. Now, Rick, police say this man is armed and dangerous.
That's right. We just got this information coming into our newsroom. Now, I found this affidavit in court earlier today. According to this boy is the man's son. And let's take a look at that picture right now. This is the guy 39-year-old Lennox Christopher Pyle is accused of striking his 9-year-old son several times, but listen to this, a machete and a belt. The affidavit goes on to say that he was hit so hard with the prong of that belt buckle that it became embedded in his buttocks. Now, Pyle, you see him right there, he has shoulder-length dreads. He also has a tattoo of a lion's head on his left bicep and a tiger on his right bicep. Now, police took this report at about 1 o'clock in the morning from a house on Ballview Avenue. That's up in East Ocean View. Pyle was nowhere to be found, and here's the reason that might be. A search of his court record shows that Pyle was convicted of assault and battery back in March. He was sentenced to a year probation, and that's where we're at right now. Police are trying to find this guy. If you have any information, call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. We're live in the interactive newsroom. Rick Holmes, your News Channel 3.
All right, Rick. Well, now to the cold weather, and what a difference a day makes. Parts of Hampton Roads in North Carolina woke up to snow this morning. A bitter cold Sunday and Monday morning after a beautiful Saturday. Several inches of snow closed many schools and school districts in North Carolina. And now the story is the temperature and the biting wind chill. In fact, Chief Meteorologist Mike Harvey is tracking the cold here in Triple Doppler Forecast Center. In fact, you were saying you had snow at your house this morning, too,
sure
right?
Did. Folks in the southern portions of Hampton Roads had some snow that fell on the ground this morning. That's all gone. That's certainly out of here. But now, boy, it is going to be another cold night. And it's already cold out there. Let's take a look at the temperatures around the region. 34 right now, just above the freezing mark in Virginia Beach and Norfolk. 32 the freezing mark at Portsmouth. And also 32 degrees at Elizabeth City. But when you add in those winds, which are blowing right now at about 10 miles per hour, Newport News, 13 in Williamsburg, and 8 in Norfolk, well, you get wind chills that are in the 20s. And right now, we have a wind chill of 23 in Portsmouth, 29 in Hampton, and 29 in Kill Devil Hills. Now, I'll let you know how far those temperatures are going to drop down, if the winds are going to keep up through the night tonight, and when our next chance of snow is coming to town. It's not too far off. That's all coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Well, the weather had a lot of folks' teeth chattering, but this next story has a lot of people talking today. Police arrested a Suffolk man for bragging about his marijuana on the internet website myspace.com. Now, police say 20-year-old Michael Pilkerton's brother wrote about their drug use on his webpage. Police say one of their undercover detectives met him and made a drug deal. Well, coming up during this interactive newscast, we're going to talk much more about how much trouble your internet page can get you into. And we also want to know what you think of another issue this actually brings up. We are talking about this question. Should marijuana be legalized? Yeah, some say it's less dangerous than alcohol, but others say it's worse and leads to more serious drug addictions. We're always active, and we are taking your votes right now, right there in our web poll on the homepage at WTKR.com. We're going to have the first results live from the interactive newsroom in about 10 minutes.
We have new details now on a deadly shooting outside a Chesapeake store. A jury selection started today in the case of James Phillips. Officers say Phillips drove to the BJ's Wholesale Club on Taylor Road last April. His wife was inside, and his wife's sister was parked in front. Investigators say Phillips shot and killed the sister, then went inside the store and shot his wife. Now, Phillips is charged with murder, and make sure you stay with the News Channel 3 for the latest in this disturbing case.
On your military watch, hundreds of local soldiers are on their way to Iraq. More than 100 members of the headquarters and headquarters detachment and the 119th Transportation Company, they left Fort Story this afternoon. They're going to spend the next year in Iraq. Now, the soldiers will help units that protect Iraq's water terminals and supply other forces on the ground. You know, it's tough enough just to say goodbye, but they're leaving during a particularly violent time.
Seeming to get even more so every day. Iraqi officials today say they foiled a plan to kill Muslim pilgrims, marking a very important Shia holiday. Weekend fighting surrounding that holiday also killed 2 American soldiers. And your News Channel 3's Aline Sergani has the breaking details.
The all-out firefight between U.S.-backed Iraqi troops and insurgents went into a second day. Iraqi forces targeted members of a religious sect that planned to disguise themselves as religious pilgrims and kill clerics on the holiest day of the Shiite calendar. Hundreds of suspected militants were killed. The plot was foiled. But the holy day was marked with protests, Shiite anger mixing with prayer. Elsewhere in the war-torn country, the daily cycle of sectarian bloodshed killed more than a dozen others, including women and children. Bush administration officials say the joint operation in Najaf is something they'd like to see more of. And they insist, despite what the critics say, the president's new way forward in Iraq is the best course of action.
if you want American forces out of Iraq, probably the best way to do that is to support the president and support the combatant commanders in doing what they say they need.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate is set to begin debate on a non-binding resolution that states the troop surge is not in the national interest.
The president has escalated the war before only to see the same results: increasing chaos, innumerable costs, and a civil war that's spinning out of control.
It promises to be a heated debate in the Senate chambers.
Stop funding the war!
And around them. Monday, 9 anti-war protesters were arrested inside a House office building where they gathered to read the names of Americans and Iraqis who lost their lives in the war. In Washington, Aline Sergani, News Channel 3.
Marijuana is all over the news today. In fact, you know, you think of drug dealing, it's usually a way of life for young criminals.
Yeah,
right?
you would think so, but police say they have busted a grandmother who was selling weed. We're going to have details.
Can what you write on your MySpace land you in jail? Suffolk police say they arrested a drug dealer after reading his brother's MySpace page. We're going to tell you how.
And then what do you say to those who say pot should be legal? Tell us what you think. We are going there next. It is our interactive newsroom. Now, Barbara Sierra and Kurt Williams have a preview of what you'll see new at 5:30.
That's right. Coming up new at 5:30, we have a sad update about Kentucky Derby winner Barbaro.
Many people who never watched horse racing have tracked his recovery after shattering a leg in the Preakness. Well, after a weekend setback, he lost his battle. We will tell you why he had to be euthanized after his 8-month fight.
And you know, that big jar of pennies may be worth a lot more than you think, but we'll tell you how the government is trying to stop you from cashing in. That's coming up new at 5:30.
Hampton Roads. When you need to know, get your News Channel 3 on the go. Your News Channel 3 is now wireless. Get the latest weather with News Channel 3 triple Doppler radar right on your cell phone. Want to know where the traffic types are? Check out News Channel 3's live traffic cams on your cell phone. Local news, sports, weather, and even school closings and lottery numbers on your cell phone. It's easy, simple, and just a click away. Visit WTKR.com to get your News Channel 3 on the go today.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Here's to the happy couple.
Honey Nut Cheerios. When something tastes great and can help lower cholesterol, what's not to love?
Honey Nut Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy. Now your heart-healthy choice can be a chance to help others. Join Cheerios' Circle of Helping Hearts. For every box you buy, Cheerios will donate $1 to support women's heart health.
You like fresh dough, not frozen. Real meat toppings. I'm Papa John, and that's the way I like it, too.
Call today and try Papa's Trio. 3 medium, 3-topping pizzas for just $18.99.
Looking for a rewarding and challenging opportunity? L3 Communications Unidyne Division is a premier provider of technical services to the U.S. Navy. We're growing and seeking skilled employees for full-time and part-time positions in ship systems integration, engineering, fabrication, training, and administration. We offer competitive pay and excellent benefits. Email your resume or call our job hotline today. Launch your future with L3 Communications Unidyne.
Dodge Ram 4x4 can take it to the extreme.
One of these days we're going to have to actually use those things.
Why? Even if your toys can't. Now get up to $5,000 cash allowance on Dodge Ram 1500. Discover America's hottest products at your Dodge dealer.
There are trillions of allergens circulating throughout the average American home. But now, Trane introduces the first central air system that removes up to 99.98% of the allergens from all the air that it heats or cools. Trane Clean Effects. Isn't it time you expected more from your system?
Visit your local Trane dealer today. Trane, a proud Team 3 professional.
It's hard to stop a train.
You like fresh dough, not frozen. Real meat toppings. I'm Papa John, and that's the way I like it, too.
Call today and try Papa's Trio. 3 medium, 3-topping pizzas for just $18.99.
Live from the interactive newsroom, here's Bianca Martinez.
Welcome back and welcome to the new interactive newsroom. Now, we have built this newsroom. We have designed it around you to interact with you by email. We're talking about by phone, even instant messaging here. Now, it is simply, something that we're going to do every day about the hot topic. Now, we want to hear from you. That's what this is all about. Go to our homepage. You can see right there at WTKR.com and click that flashing eye, that red eye button that we just saw you. That will always take you to a page that lists all of the ways to interact with us. And you can also watch videos of some of the hot topics we're talking about. And you know what? You don't ever have to miss our newscast. Why? Well, because we are now streaming it live every night from 5 to 6 o'clock. Now, when you click the I button there, click your 3 cents to send us an email. But you can also call us at 757-624-3664. And now, this is completely new. You can also instant message us live through Yahoo, AOL, and Windows Live Messenger. Our screen name on all 3 of those services, it's really simple. It's Your News Channel 3, all lowercase, all one word, with the number 3 at the end. Okay, so every day here, this is what it's about. At 5, we are going to focus on a hot topic to interact with you with. And now today, it is the unusual case of a 20-year-old Suffolk man arrested by police for touting his marijuana use on the internet website myspace.com. They charged Michael Pilkerton with selling marijuana. It's not every day that police say they caught a drug dealer on MySpace. So your News Channel 3 went to Pilkerton's house. Michael was not there, but we did speak with a family friend leaving the home, and he's surprised police used MySpace as evidence against his friend.
They're that bored to go on MySpace just to look for kids. Whatever. I guess you shouldn't put it on the internet, but...
Well, this is the first time that Suffolk police actually made an arrest directly linked to evidence found on MySpace. So here's the big question. How did police make the arrest using evidence they found online?
Right there.
Anthony Sayers often visits his friends on Delaney Drive in Suffolk. For years, he suspected that their neighbor, Michael Pilkerton, sold marijuana. But it wasn't until recently, when he found Pilkerton's MySpace page, that he knew all the rumors were true.
Because he had it all over it, really. Basically, he was just like talking about how much he smoked and about just, I don't know, just bragging about it.
Anthony wasn't the only one who found Pilkerton's page. So did the Suffolk police. Investigators used the pictures of marijuana and other evidence on the page to launch a criminal case.
Our narcotics division did some extra investigation, and it was supplemented by the information provided by MySpace.
Anthony has learned a very valuable lesson from his neighbor's mistake. Never put anything on the web that you don't want the world to see. But Suffolk police don't mind.
Keep putting it up there. It's very helpful to us.
And you know what? It's not just MySpace. In fact, Suffolk police say they've actually been using some stuff from YouTube.com. That's where you can post videos, as well as some other websites to get evidence there as well. Now, this led us to another question. Here in our interactive newsroom, we want to know if you agree with the folks who think that marijuana should be legalized. Now, here are the current results. We have a web poll up right now. And you can see 49% say yes, 51% no. And of course, we are going to check that a little bit later on, so you can still go to WTKR.com and cast your votes. All right, talking more about Suffolk's MySpace drug bust. We wondered if this was an isolated incident or if lots of people were actually confessing to the crimes online. So investigative reporter Mike Mather is with me right now, and you did some fishing online. What did you find out?
Just about the same thing as Suffolk police did. Now, if local police are looking for pot-smoking MySpace members, you don't have to look too hard. I just used the MySpace search engine. I put in the phrase smoking pot and the names of each city, and I found plenty of confessions. This guy, Matt, he says he is 21 and he is from Virginia Beach. On his front page, he admits his favorite pastime is sitting around smoking pot. But there's his picture right there. He did not include himself smoking pot in his pictures, but that is not the case for everyone. This 19-year-old woman from Virginia Beach uses her full name, tells us where she works, and publishes that picture of her smoking pot. She was not the only one who had some revelations. Finally, a 28-year-old Norfolk woman says she's trying to kick her pot habit, but she goes on in her blog to out her boyfriend as a drug dealer, writing, one of her favorite memories was watching him roll a blunt, drunk, driving down the interstate going 80 miles an hour, and she posts a picture of her and her drug-dealing boyfriend. Now, she says that she is trying to kick the habit, but others, of course, are out there. It is not hard to find what to do, but police did. It took me just a few minutes to find a host of local people admitting to that same kind of stuff, Bianca. that got that guy arrested in the first place.
Well, they might be rethinking that now. I think the big question here is this okay for police to use these things as evidence?
Oh, it's absolutely okay, but nobody is going to get arrested just solely based on what they write on MySpace. But as you heard, police will use it to further their investigation and sometimes as the basis for a search warrant.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mike Mather, for joining us here and telling us a little bit more about what you found on MySpace today. All right. Well, you know, marijuana wasn't the only thing they found in Suffolk this morning. They found snow when they woke up. Chief Meteorologist Mike Harvey is actually in the Triple Doppler Forecast Center. Some more on the way, Mike?
Yeah, actually, there could be some more on the way as we get through the latter part of the week. This morning, many folks walked out to some snow on the ground. I did at my house in southern Chesapeake area, and it was really a beautiful sight out there. But right now, it's just a beautiful sunset. Let's take it outside and show you that from the Armada Hoffler Tower. You can see the sun is setting at this time. Clear skies, and that means, yes, folks, it is going to be a cold night as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures dropping down into the 20s. I'm going to show you what happened earlier this morning. We had a little, what's called a short wave. It's a little low pressure center that went through, went right out to the coast, brought back some moisture and some cold air, basically spun it right back around. And look what happened. We blew up with some snow, especially in North Carolina, where they had over an inch of snow in Elizabeth City. Here are some photos from Elizabeth City. Yvonne and A.C. Carver, this shot from our weather watchers down in Elizabeth City. Also this shot from Laura Dixon in Chapanoke. You can see the snow there. It looks like they had a good 2 to 3 inches of snow there. And this shot from Sally Adams in Cortland, a good dusting, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of snow in the Cortland area. So it was pretty exciting to wake up and see that snow this morning. Here's what's going to happen as we go through the rest of today into tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Clear skies. That means tomorrow morning going to be a brutally cold drive to work in the morning. As we head through the day at 6 p.m., good news. We're going to warm it up, mostly sunny skies, maybe just a couple of clouds out there, but really a nice day tomorrow. We started off at 26 degrees tomorrow morning, mostly clear, another cold night, but look at this. Tomorrow afternoon, beautiful. High temperature of 50 degrees, partly cloudy, certainly going to be much warmer. In our triple Doppler 10-day forecast, well, this is what you can expect. We have another system moving through. This is typical for this time of year. And Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Now, once you take a look at Thursday morning, the low temperature is 23 degrees. We're going to have moisture moving in. It's going to take a while for that temperature to get above 32 degrees. So I anticipate we'll have a few snowflakes that will be going or moving into Hampton Roads. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, it will warm up, and that will switch over to rain. We'll stick around until Friday morning as we head towards the weekend for the Super Bowl and the polar plunge. Looks like temperatures will be in the mid-40s, but the mornings are still going to be rather chilly.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. Well, something that's actually hot is the question that we asked you on our web poll. Should marijuana be legalized? We have seen a flip-flop in the numbers. This is what Interactive News is all about. Earlier, more folks thought no. Well, now take a look. Yes, 53% and no, 47%. You can keep voting by clicking the Interactive Newsroom icon on our website. Okay, and we're just getting some breaking news right now into the Interactive Newsroom. We have a lot of news today about drug use in our communities. Well, right now, Norfolk reporter Rick Holmes has just learned of a marijuana drug bust. Now, we believe that this involves more than a $250,000. That's a lot of money of marijuana. And actually, it was stopped from hitting the streets. Rick is actually working on that story right now, and we're going to have new details to lead our 6 p.m. news tonight. Plus, updates anytime online at WTKR.com. That's the earliest way, Pat.
That's right, Bianca. And there is also a pot-growing granny who is headed to jail, and it's no laughing matter. She may be behind bars for several years. Plus, there's a lot of talk about the new Microsoft operating system, Vista. What is it? What do you need to know? Plus, 2 local stories or stores think that information is so important that they are staying open late tonight to help you out. We're going to have that new for you at 5:30.
The 2007 Chevy Cobalt LS. With an EPA estimated 34 miles per gallon highway. And now it comes with something Honda and Toyota don't. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos. Get a 2007 Chevy Cobalt LS starting at $13,240 after cash back. See your local Chevy dealer or visit dealsonchevy.com.
So, I'm on that roasted chicken Italiano diet. I just started the turkey noodle diet.
Beef and mushroom diet. You've got to try it.
You won't believe what you can eat while still watching your calories. Because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories or less per serving.
Chicken noodle. And it shows.
Here's something new, a reduced sodium soup that's delicious. It's what you'd expect from Progresso. 50% reduced sodium, 100% great taste.
Your odds just got a lot better, thanks to the new $100 million cash extravaganza scratcher with over $100 million in prize money. It's the highest payout in Virginia lottery history.
We just bought this house.
We never thought we'd have the home of our dreams.
But when we talked it over with Navy Federal, they had options that led to a really great mortgage.
At a great rate. And they answered all of our questions and took us through the whole process step by step.
Our closing was right on time.
And there were no hidden fees or surprises.
They exceeded all our expectations. At Navy Federal, membership counts.
A lot.
Ask about our 100% financing up to $850,000.
Don't worry about those guys.
I am just so sick of this.
Dude, what do you expect? You went with Geico.com. What, to save some money?
It's my life, okay?
Just a little loyalty would be nice, that's all.
What? Having Geico makes me less of a caveman?
Tina's here. We're getting back together.
Hey, give us a minute.
Geico.com. So easy, a caveman can do it.
We went to this upscale restaurant where we secretly replaced Mr. Morehouse's Toyota Avalon with a new Chrysler 300C. Let's watch his reaction.
Smooth, robust, way more flavor. What gives?
Great taste. That's what makes Chrysler 300C the most awarded new car ever.
Now that's rich.
We also replaced his wife of 20 years, Agnes, with this piping hot fashion model, Isabella.
Oh, thank you, Chrysler.
Compare for yourself and you'll see there's no comparison.
Where is the best place to live in and around Hampton Roads? Do you love the great restaurants at Virginia Beach's Town Center? How about the great beaches in Kill Devil Hills and the Outer Banks? Or maybe you're a history buff and appreciate the great events and sights to see in Williamsburg. Well, it is time to interact with us. Just where is the best place to live in our region? Go to WTKR.com, click on the flashing red interactive newsroom icon on the homepage, and cast your vote. We're going to take your votes all week.
Yeah, so make sure you call your friends and your family and encourage them to weigh in at WTKR.com. Well, folks are weighing in on our hot topic today, the interactive topic, of course, marijuana use in Hampton Roads. So we had to tell you this story about a convicted pot-growing granny from Arizona. Now she is headed to jail. Prosecutors say 62-year-old Leticia Garcia from Southeast Arizona ran a marijuana selling operation to support her bingo habit. She denies any wrongdoing, but her story didn't fly with the judge. He sentenced her to 3 years in prison and fined her $150,000. You can read more about this story under News of the Weird on the homepage at WTKR.com and tell us what you think, because we're always interactive.
How much pot do you have to sell to support a bingo habit?
I don't know, but that's some hardcore bingo.
I was going to say, that's high-stakes bingo right there.
That's right. All right, well, there is much more ahead next at 5:30.
Barbara Sierra and Kurt Williams have the details.
Our grown granny, huh? Okay, the Super Bowl, you know, all the hype. It's less than a week away.
That's right, Barbara. And police are trying to make sure that the crooks aren't the ones that make the big score. We will tell you how.
And a guy wrecks his car at 300 miles an hour. He's not only